Hey guys, this is Hunter with You Don't Know Ball. Today we're going to be looking at Cynthia Frelund's NFL Mock Draft 1.0. If you guys don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and let me know in the comments your favorite or least favorite pick from this mock draft. It is not completely blind. I have seen the first pick, and honestly, this is what drove me to do the mock draft reaction. I saw the first pick in a group chat that was sent to me, and I was truly shocked. So we're going to read the preferences for this mock draft. I think you will be shocked as well at who goes number one overall. So let's get right into it. Thank you guys so much for watching. So Cynthia Frelund of NFL Network, she says, I always do my mock drafts a little differently from the traditional method in that my team prospect pairings are based on optimizing for wins in the upcoming season in a structured way. Here's a quick look at my process. I take the best available information about free agency, which right now is adamantly not much more than what we know about player contracts to predict player market value. I then check free agents' projected market value against the anticipated salary cap space for each team. Finally, I add potential free agents or drafted players to different teams and identify which individuals increase teams' projected win totals the most. My player model leverages historical pre-draft player data to forecast NFL performance. I'm starting this process early again this year, which is cool because I'm excited to track how things change with free agency and draft process evolves. A little housekeeping. I use my computer vision derived measurements and stats in my player evaluations and all my speed burst advanced tracking notes and based on field game speed metrics. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, she has a model for how she put this together. There's reasonings for these picks. We don't know those reasonings until we get to the picks if she has them written up. But let's get it started off here. At number 1, we have Joe Alt to the Chicago Bears. In this theoretical exercise, the Bears keep Justin Fields and pick up this high floor, aka lower risk left tackle prospect who has experience but is also young, 20 years old, with a ton of upside. Alt just passes receiver Marvin Harrison an immediate impact for the Bears O-line, which allowed their quarterbacks to be pressured at the highest rate in the league last season of 45.1%. So, no, first of all, I hate this pick so much, especially as a Bears fan. First off, Braxton Jones, while not being the best left tackle in the league, can hold his own. And taking a left tackle number 1, I don't know if they're doing trades in this draft, but taking a left tackle number 1, just from a pure value perspective, just doesn't work. And also, I would say wide receiver 2 is a much bigger need, and obviously you can predict what happens in free agency, but I would rather have Marvin Harrison on a rookie contract than paying like an expensive wide receiver, for wide receiver 2. And you're keeping Justin Fields in this standpoint, and yes, you're protecting him, but the whole issue is more of the weapons, and I don't know how the pressure statistic is calculated, but maybe it has to do with Justin's slow drop, his deep drop. Maybe that's why he's pressured so much. The O-line was not as bad as people make it out to be. At number 2, we have the Washington Commanders selecting Caleb Williams. Okay, so the Commanders get basically the perfect night for them. They don't have to trade up. They still get the number 1 quarterback in the draft. And, if I'm Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, I'm jumping for joy. Like, literally fucking hop, skip, jump, whatever you want to do. Like, this is the most perfect case scenario for the Washington Commanders. I'm sure Commanders fans will love this mock. At number 3, we have the New England Patriots taking Drake May. My model loves May's upside for a number of reasons, but one that stands out is the levels and routes he has thrown per computer vision tracking data. He does not have the most consistent route runners, and his ability to connect on many different throw speeds was extremely accurate. If I'm the Patriots here, I don't want to take Daniels, but if May is available at 3, I find it hard to believe you pass up on that unless you're going to get like a treasure trove of picks from a team wanting to trade up, aka the Falcons, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Vikings, even the Giants possibly. Not a bad pick. At number 4, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't really know. They're going to take a wide receiver off the board, whether it is Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze. You could argue for other positions. Obviously, the number 1 tackle is not there anymore. But, yeah, not a bad pick. I think this is pretty standard. At number 5, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking Terrion Arnold. So, this pick isn't actually that crazy in my opinion. I think 5 is like the highest he will go. But Terrion Arnold, it seems to me like around the league is that he's getting like the CB1. I know a lot of things can change, but the CB1 lock, he is a really young player and he's very athletic. He did a lot in his short time at Alabama. So I think going cornerback here isn't out of the question for the Chargers. At number 6, we have the New York Giants taking Rome Odunze. I like this pick. I think, yes, you get a big body for Daniel Jones. I think just with the way the Giants are set up, I would have preferred like a Malik Neighbors, but it's all preference. So let's see what she has to say. Odunze is my wide receiver 2 by the slimmest of margins. Okay. In fact, his contested catch ability as well as his body control ranks in the top 20 percentile in a 10-season sample. I also cannot believe my models didn't choose an O-lineman here either, as it is in an area of big need that should tell you how much my evaluations love Odunze. So basically, from what I'm understanding in this mock is like, it is all model. I would like to know exactly like the calculations like of the model, because like so far it's not bad. I just think the left tackle at number 1 is egregious, especially with all the other talent on the board. At number 7, we have the Tennessee Titans taking Olu Fashanu. Not really surprising here. You get a tackle, one of the top 2 tackles in the class, and you pair him with Peter Skronsky. You have a lot of pass protection there. Bill Callahan, obviously, I believe Olu is only 21 years old. Bill Callahan, great offensive line coach, should be able to coach him up pretty well. At number 8, we have the Falcons taking Jaden Daniels. The QB3 falls to Atlanta. If Atlanta has not made a move in the offseason to go get a quarterback, I think this is the most likely scenario, is they're going to get QB3 unless they're going to trade all the way up to get Drake May, which I doubt. But he says, the model flags high marks for accuracy, a quick release, and pocket awareness. My favorite note on Daniels is that the computer vision shows he can get his feet set to throw as opposed to throwing one off balance in the top 10 percentile fastest in my 10-season sample. He also scrambles at a 10% rate when he has a clean pocket, which isn't that great. And I think, I mean, that's not to hate on Daniels. I just think like my thing is like, there's no conversation for him that he is QB2 in this draft. I just think May has so much more upside and he did it so much quicker. And I think Daniels can work in Atlanta with, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. I think it would be a good fit for them. Like I said, I want to know what the model is. I want to know. Like, I wish he explained it a little bit more. At number 9, we have the Chicago Bears taking Malik Neighbors. You need another weapon outside of DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. Malik Neighbors is that guy. Some NFL teams have him above Marvin Harrison Jr. So, good pick for the Bears. I'm not really going to go into it. At number 10, we have the New York Jets taking Talise Fuaga. Good pick by the model. With Olu Fashanu and Joe Alt already off the board, the Jets desperately need a tackle, and they got to protect him. Talise Fuaga is a great run game blocker, and he's pretty good in the pass game as well. I think, honestly, from what I've heard, the league is very, very high on him, and I would not be surprised. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the hiccups. I would not be surprised if he possibly goes before Olu. At number 11, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking Dallas Turner. I like this pick a lot. I think, like I said, anything defense would be a good pick here. I don't think you really need to focus on the O-line. and, build up that line. Daniil Hunter may be gone. Marcus Davenport may be gone. I wouldn't be opposed to a corner here. Maybe they wanted Terrion Arnold. He's off the board. Dallas Turner, Verse, Latu. I'm all comfortable with those guys going edge one. At number 12, we have the Denver Broncos taking Cooper DeJean. So let's see what she has to say about the white corner that's going in the first round. What a surprise. I mean, that's going to be so cool. It's just funny because we just haven't had one in so long. There is a long road between now and the draft. We'll be watching to see what Denver does at the quarterback position, but Broncos country, your team will immediately improve if you pick this very dynamic Iowa cornerback. Adding DeJean to complement Pat Surtain, that would be kind of raw. Would be pretty special. He has experience in off coverage, which allowed me to measure how he takes straight lines at a rate in the top 18th percentile. This can be considered a gauge of his ball tracking ability. Broncos fans, let me know if you want to pair up Pat Surtain with Cooper DeJean. At number 13, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking Bo Nix. I don't know how I feel about Bo Nix, and I don't know how I feel about him with Luke Getsy. I feel like, as a Bears fan, I don't think Getsy was the worst offensive play caller in the league. I just think he's really bad at adapting, and he's good at game planning, but situationally he's not that good. Bo Nix is just so boom or bust for me that if he doesn't go to a really good situation, I can see him struggling very badly. So I don't know if I love it. You might have heard he had a 77.4 completion percentage last season, led FBS, but did you know his accuracy dropped off the least of any Power 5 quarterback on design rollouts? Yeah, he's got a live arm. I like it. At number 14, we have the New Orleans Saints taking Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know about that one. A little bit of a reach for me. Thomas led the FBS with 17 receiving touchdowns, and they came from both the slot and out wide. He and Chris Olave together would be a really scary duo for opposing defenses. I would like Brock Bowers here. I mean, please tell me the last time the Saints had a dominant tight end. And if he's falling that far, from a pure prospect point, I just think Brock Bowers would be really cool on the Saints. At number 15, look at it. There it is. Brock Bowers to the Colts. I've been seeing him go to the Colts a lot. I've been seeing Nate Wiggins and even Quinyon Mitchell going to the Colts. So, you bring back Michael Pittman Jr., you have Josh Downs, you have Alec Pierce, you can go get a wide receiver in free agency. You have Jonathan Taylor under contract, Zach Moss, Brock Bowers. Let's just say if they get Brock Bowers, I think they could possibly be the favorites to win the AFC South, just because I think their team as a whole is a little bit better than the Texans, even though I think the Texans are going to be very, very good this year with another offseason and draft coming up. At number 16, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking Byron Murphy. I like this pick. I think you got to improve the interior of the O-line. Byron Murphy is elite at winning in the pass rush, and it really helps the Seattle Seahawks kind of fortify that defense. Obviously, you have Mike McDonald there, and my thing is, if you want your secondary to excel, you need to have a good pass rush, because the longer and longer you leave your guys running out there with receivers, the more often they are going to get beat. At number 17, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going Jared Verse. I like this. I've started to come around on Verse a little bit. I just think while his bag isn't super deep, he bro is just strong as fuck, and when he rushes the passer, he's kind of a very, very he's just a bull rusher, and he will definitely take advantage of smaller linemen in the league for sure. At number 18, we have the Cincinnati Bengals taking J.C. Latham. I like this pick a lot, actually. I have seen tackle go to the Bengals, and I think pairing him up with Orlando Brown, because then you just have J.C. Latham on the right side, Orlando Brown on the left side, and he is a big boy. I think, with the way that I think he's good in pass and run situations. I think he's a little bit better in pass, just from what I've seen. He's a very patient lineman. Like, he's never like caught out of position just because he's been too aggressive or like he is startled by like the fast rush. And I think with the Bengals, like, obviously they're not known for running the ball a ton. I think this would be a great place for him. At number 19, we have the Los Angeles Rams taking Tyler Guyton. I don't hate this pick. I think if Tyler Guyton goes to the right team, he can really be that guy. I think he's just such a raw prospect. And in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know. It depends how you look at the Rams. Do you look at the Rams that are trying to win in the next 1 to 2 years while they have Matt Stafford? Or are you looking at a team that is kind of on the cusp of like developing young talent and like kind of making way for like a young quarterback to come in? And I think if you're making way for a young quarterback to come in, I think Guyton would be a good pick. But if you're trying to win in the next 2 years, I think I don't like Guyton here. I would have probably gone maybe Latu on the edge. I think that would have been good. At number 20, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Graham Barton. So I've been seeing Graham Barton kind of fall in the first, and from my understanding, let's see. She says, I have multiple models I use in my analysis during the draft season. Among them is the model I use to make picks for mock drafts, with another that helps estimate where a player will actually end up. The latter focuses more on coaches, GMs, franchise, historical trends. That model projects Barton to go in round 2. Yes, interior O-lineman, but from what I understand, he is one of the safest picks in the draft when it comes to linemen. But that could be in part due to interior linemen often being undervalued in the draft, correct? Or at least not viewed compared with other positions as being worthy of a first-round pick. Barton is at his best when he's a combo blocking, pulling, and when the defense tackle is head-on. He definitely has the potential to upgrade the Steelers' run game, which would certainly please new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Yeah, I think him or Jackson Powers-Johnson here would fit well. At number 21, we have the Miami Dolphins going Keon Coleman. There's a lot of reaches in this draft, no lie. Coleman ranks in the top 22nd percentile in contested catch rate, 10 season sample, and has alignment versatility. Add his ability to that speed already on this team, and yikes. Yeah, so I'm not opposed to a big body receiver going to the Dolphins. I think they really have to focus on that O-line, though, in free agency if this is going to be your pick. We did a mock draft. Well, it's actually up to yesterday, but I had Brian Thomas Jr. going here just because it's like a fun pick, add some size. I think Keon Coleman can do those things too. I just think like a Jackson Powers-Johnson would have been good here just because of the fact that it's shown you got to protect Tua. I know they get the ball out quick, but Tua's kind of, with all the concussions, and he's not the greatest at like creating, like he's not like the greatest playmaker, he works really well in structure, and he can create out of structure, but it's like not at an elite level. He's probably about average, a little bit better than average. At number 22, we have the Eagles taking Jackson Powers-Johnson. Now, I told you earlier my model has a crush on Fuaga. Well, it might be smitten with JPJ too. Trying to find a rookie to replace Jason Kelsey's impact on the field and the locker room is a silly proposition, but JPJ has the tools and production to honor the future Hall of Famer's legacy the way it deserves. The Oregon product recorded the fewest negative plays at the center position. Okay, so I don't hate this pick, and I know you build in the trenches, but like, isn't that the point? Isn't that why they got Cam Jurgens? I don't know. Like, I think, yes, this is not necessarily a bad pick, but I think corner is much more like of an issue, and I think addressing corner here would be a better situation. Obviously, like I've said in all my videos, like anything trenches, I'm not going to hate unless it is like an egregious reach. And I think Jackson Powers-Johnson will be a really good player in the league, so not necessarily a bad pick. I just think for the value, I don't know. At 23, we have the Houston Texans taking Quinyon Mitchell. So I like Quinyon Mitchell. I think it would be a good fit in Houston. I like the idea of taking a corner here. And I like the way that the corners have fallen in this draft. It's been a little bit different than what I'm used to, and I like seeing them go to different teams. So number 24, we have Troy Fontenot to the Cowboys. Makes sense. Tyron Smith is getting older. You can move Troy Fontenot on the interior. Then you could take over Smith's spot when he, retires or leaves. I think, like I said, fixing up and bringing use to that O-line is the way to go. At 25, my bad, we have the Green Bay Packers taking Nate Wiggins. This would be really nice for the Packers. Not for Bears fans, but this would be nice for the Packers. For Nate Wiggins to fall to 25, I think they're going to go cornerback regardless, or like even I could see them taking like a safety. And okay, so I had this thought today that I'll share with you guys. So I really think Tyler Nubin is my safety one, because I just think he's more reliable than a Cam Kitchens. He's like less aggressive and everything like that. But with the way the Packers D-line is, and if you bring back Jair Alexander and you have your linebackers, if you're willing to live with a little bit of liability in, at the safety position, Cam Kitchens on the Packers would be nasty. Like nasty. I would hate it personally, but I think it would be a very good pick for them. But Nate Wiggins, good too. Got to secure that secondary. At number 26, we have Ennis Rakestraw Jr. to the Bucks. I don't think it's a bad pick here. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. could very well find himself in the first round. He's definitely got the talent for it. It's just more of like the fact that there's already been so many corners going in. But like you see this in the first round, premium positions are going like crazy. Obviously, that's where you want to get them. But, the nice thing is this draft is very deep. You can get a lot of guys, like maybe even like a TJ Tampa on day 2. And like Tampa is not a scrub. Like Tampa is a good player. At number 27, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking Amarius Mims. I love this pick. I love it. I've never seen him mocked to the Cardinals, but I think Amarius Mims is going to be so good in the league. And you pair him with Paris Johnson Jr. Wait, Paris Johnson? Yeah, Paris Johnson Jr. And you have a beast of an O-line for the next 4 to 5 years. And then obviously 10 years if you want to re-sign these guys. At number 28, we have the Buffalo Bills taking Troy Franklin. Yeah, this isn't too crazy. I've seen him mocked here before. I think he's kind of the last of all the receivers we've seen go. He's probably the last of like the end of the first round kind of guys. Pairing him with Stephon Diggs would be nice. I think, like I said, like I would, if Keon Coleman or Brian Thomas was here, I think I would have liked them a little bit better. Give kind of a different kind of target to Josh Allen, and then I think you're really cooking. But I think they just need more help in the receiver room. At 29, we have the Detroit Lions doing Chop Robinson. I stay seeing Chop in the first, and I think he's a good player. I just think he's going to be a day 2 guy. But obviously, like I think adding to the D-line is not the wrong choice here. At 30, we have the Ravens selecting Latu. So here's my thing. If the Baltimore Ravens, or if the Detroit Lions are on the clock at 29 and Latu is available and they go Chop Robinson, listen, Brad Holmes has made some good picks, but I don't know if that, like, I just cannot, I think Latu is just a different type of player, unless medical concerns is what scares him. Latu to the Ravens is good. I think Clowney's probably out of there soon. Matabike might be gone. You got to keep that D-line, got to keep it nasty. At number 31, we have the Kansas City Chiefs taking Koy McKinstry. Yeah, I like this pick. I think, you got to always build up the secondary. I think Koy McKinstry is a good player. Obviously, like he was kind of corner 1 going into the year. He's kind of dropped down, but he's still like a first-round talent, and the Chiefs do need a little bit more depth there. Like she says, L'Jarius Sneed appears to have played himself into a very big payday this offseason. Yeah, like him and Trent McDuffie, the Chiefs' defense has been amazing. At number 32, we have the San Francisco 49ers taking Jordan Morgan. yeah, Jordan Morgan is a good player. I think this is a really, I'm not gonna lie. When I've been watching these mock drafts or reading these mock drafts, I've seen the 49ers just taking some really weird people. And I think Jordan Morgan makes the most sense. I think they need kind of figure out like the right tackle position. Even, keeping in mind that like Trent Williams is getting older too. So you're going to have to rebuild that line, and like your best lineman is kind of on the end of his career. But Cynthia Frelund's 1.0 mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This one was definitely a little different. I hate this so much. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments your favorite or least favorite pick from this draft. Bears fans, I know what your least favorite pick will be. If you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like. We're bringing you guys daily content every day, and we love doing it. We're grinding out for you guys. Really appreciate it. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Leave another comment and let me know who you guys think is going to win.